The R8 is looking very good today. There's a little bit of sun popping up through the clouds into the garage. You can kind of see the psychedelic, just a bit of it. Of course, you mostly see the gray, but there's just that little bit of rainbow haze effect, and it just looks nice today. Now, of course, we do have the Acura TL, which is officially on its way out, because that spot right there is where the C8 is going. So if any of you guys have been following my channel, you know that I do officially have an allocation in for the all new Corvette C8. I am so excited. I think it is going to be a great car for the garage and awesome for content for you guys to enjoy. So while we're on the topic of the all new Corvette C8, let's talk about the Z06, which is kind of crazy because the C8 just was unveiled not even a week ago. But the amount of things I'm seeing online, the amount of people that are already pushing or already want the Z06 version is crazy. We're already getting new renderings, which actually look really nice, and you guys are gonna see a few here of the all new C8 Z06 version. But there's a lot of people that just don't buy the base version. So they're excited that we are going mid-engine. They love the look of the new Corvette, but they want the Z06 version because they want the wider body style, they want the more power, they just want a little bit more of everything. A lot of them, they just buy only the Z06, that's all they want. And so they are already pushing for that car. And it's funny, because of my allocation, I can tell that, and I'll explain that a little bit later, but let's actually talk about the Z06. Now, of course, everything we know about the Z06 is just rumored, but I will say this. The C8 Corvette, we had rumors that I've been making videos on for the last year, and they were almost all pretty accurate. We got about 500 horsepower, we're just a little bit under it. A mid-engine layout, of course, the biggest thing that everybody questioned. Everybody said it's not going mid-engine, it's not true, it's fake, it's been in the making, there's been so many different prototypes, but it's not gonna happen. And it did, of course, happen. And then we stuck with a V8, a 6.2 liter V8 LT2, just a kind of reworked LT1. And then, of course, the dual clutch transmission with no manual, which I'm still incredibly sad about that, because of course the allocation I wanted to make it with a manual. I wanted to build it out with a manual, but that's just not an option. It's the way GM going into the future. So with all of that being said, I think it is safe, or at least fair to say, that the rumors we're getting from specific individuals that are in the know with GM, that are providing this leaked information, they've been giving us pretty good info. So what I'm gonna tell you again is just rumors, but from what we have been told so far is we are going to get a smaller displacement, a 5.5 liter V8 twin turbocharged. So we are going down in displacement, we're staying in the segment of V8s, we're not dropping to a V6, but we are gonna stick with the V8s. However, it is going to make in the upwards of 700 to 740 horsepower. Somewhere in that range is what they're shooting for. Of course, the wider body style that a lot of people are accustomed to, better cooling, better track capabilities. The car is going to be a beast, especially with the change in weight layout. The weight sitting now at the mid rear of the car, and all of that power being put down to those rear wheels. It's going to be so much better for the car. So the Z06 is definitely shaping up to be an incredible car, but it looks like we're gonna have to wait 1 year. The way GM does things in fashion, it's usually between 1 and 2 years. The C7 generation, we got it about a year later. It looks like this isn't gonna be 2 years, it's only gonna be a year, and that's why we think we've seen a lot of the testing of the mules out and about for the Z06 version. So it looks like maybe just within a year, a lot of people are actually going to be able to purchase a Z06. My hope is to already have my C8 base and possibly trade it in for a Z06. Now that brings me to my allocation, but first I'm actually going to set up my camera really quick. Okay, that is much better. So my allocation for my all new C8 Corvette is already put in. Any of you guys that have been following my channel already know that. And I was 41 on the list. And the Chevrolet dealer that I bought from said that they would get probably between 75 and 100 within the first year, or at least close to that for build out, but they would be in groupings. Now again, I was 41. I called yesterday, and come to find out I've been bumped up quite a bit because quite a few individuals have pulled their allocations for the base. They actually want to keep it in the system, their deposit, but they're actually waiting on either the hard top convertible or a lot of them on the Z06. That's what a lot of people, again, are waiting on. So I have been bumped up to 25, and they're thinking I'm actually gonna be probably closer to 20, which is so awesome because they're saying, the dealer, that the first 25 individuals will most likely, if production is correct from what they've heard, have it within the first quarter, probably closer to the end of the first quarter of 2020, which means I will be getting one of the very first C8 Corvettes, and I am so excited. But there is a caveat, and from what I've heard and I've also seen on the visualizer that Chevrolet has, there are a few colors that they're saying are later built in production, and one of those is Rapid Blue. Now, of course, that is the color in my last video because we saw the video of a Rapid Blue C8 out on the highway, and it looks phenomenal. It looks like a better blue than I really expected, and the visualizer online does it no justice. It doesn't look like the right blue. It's kind of a deeper, darker blue. Instead of this really bright blue that pops, I really like the Rapid Blue. I don't like what it looks like online. And the Elkhart, or whatever the other deep blue, the Elkhart Lake Blue, I don't really care for those deeper blues. I'm sure they'll look very nice, but the Rapid Blue definitely gets attention. And so that's what I kind of was looking to build my car out as. But I'm gonna know a whole lot more September 22nd, because that's when the Corvette, the C8 little car hauler that has been going around the country, that has all the interior, exterior, is showing up at my dealership. And that's when I'll be able to talk with the individuals that know about this. But if Rapid Blue is a late color, I might end up passing on it because I really want to get this car as soon as possible so that I can make fun content, show you guys what the car is like. And honestly, if I am upgrading to the Z06 within just a year, I'd like to have it longer. I'd like to actually keep the car as long as possible before trading it in, so I'd like to get it within that time span of the first quarter. So there's a bunch of things kind of floating around, but it kind of wraps into the point that the Z06 is a hot topic, and it's the reason, the Z06 is the reason I'm actually going to get my C8 in the very first batch, that first quarter of 2020. So very exciting, and this is the time that, you know, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because you're gonna get to see this whole process, how it all goes down, kind of what the car is like as soon as the car comes out, delivery, all of that great stuff. And also make sure you hit that bell notification so you guys are aware as soon as my latest video uploads. But I really do have to say, the C8 Corvette looks phenomenal. It's shaping up to be a great sports car, and I think what GM has done is they've really pushed the boundaries with what they're capable of out of the Corvette. They knew they hit a wall, and of course they really are pushing through that wall. While it's made a lot of people upset, this car is going to sell very, very well, and I think the Z06 version even more so. The one thing we don't have for the Z06 though is pricing. Of course, you didn't hear me give out any price because nobody knows what it is. We don't even quite know what the pricing on the C8 base Stingray is. We know it's under 60. I've heard 58.9 is what they're shooting for, but again, that's hearsay. We will know supposedly August 15th. That's when we're officially gonna have the details page for pricing and options. So the very last thing I wanted to talk about in today's video was the visualizer that I used in the last video, and thanking you all so much for sending me your guys' build outs for your Corvette C8. What would be your favorite C8 build out? And I received quite a few of them. At the end of that video, I just asked some people, if anybody was still watching, to send me theirs through my email, and I actually received quite a few, and I'm gonna throw a couple up on the screen, and I am gonna choose one of them so that they can win a free t-shirt, that one of our Full Throttle Drive shirts. And so I just wanted to thank you guys so much, and I appreciate all of your guys' support. As always, you all take care. We'll see you next video.